often talk about our own work and experiences. Today, we want to talk about a company we really respect, Beehiiv. We use their product. We recently finished a project with one of their investors, and they have a deck that we think has a lot of great notes for people who are looking to build early stage decks. Alex has the details. He's got it from here. I'm going to go.
Let's get it. All right. A few months ago, Beehiiv closed $33 million in a Series B. It's an amazing signal that this company is taking off. Their usage and revenue are scaling like a hockey stick, and we're huge fans of the product and what they're building. We had the opportunity to take a trip down memory lane and look at that early seed deck where they were raising just $1 million or $2 million and convincing investors to get along for the ride. Hopefully, this sparks some ideas for ways in for your early stage pitch deck and your mission to get to that $33 million Series B. Full disclaimer, deck doctors did not design this deck, and they clearly didn't win on design alone. But they did a few key things in the logical build that I really like and want to talk about. The first thing we're going to talk about is tailwinds and the value of the last mover advantage. So in this slide here, they talk about the newsletter space being fire, highlighting acquisitions and growth from other newsletter companies. Interestingly, competition and growth in the broader space that you're playing in is a good thing. It shows that there's demand for your product. And in this case, newsletters like Substack, The Hustle, Skim, or Morning Brew taking off is a really good signal that there's growth in this market and a tide that raises all ships. Indexing on market growth around you can really be useful. The second thing that I like that they did is contextualizing that growth and creating a market map that sets the stage for them solving a problem within this market growth. Here, they highlight the creator economy landscape, putting companies into two buckets. On the left side, they have ad-supported businesses, which are social media companies like TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitch. And on the right side, they talk about direct and subscription revenue businesses, which are generally the newsletter companies of that time. By segmenting the market out this way, they set up this opportunity for a newsletter company to create an ad-supported business model or to accelerate ad-supported business models in a way that is kind of clearly a gap. They drive it home with this slide on appetite for email advertising. They're highlighting the fact that there is this monetizable appetite for email advertising or for newsletter advertising business models that's not being met. So they uniquely leverage social proof and anecdotes to highlight that there are people out there or there are users out there that want ad-supported newsletters. So the third thing I want to talk about is actually closing that loop and highlighting how your solution solves for that monetizable market gap. But what I love about this formula slide is that it doesn't stop there. They're building a product that not only closes that gap, but it explodes it by introducing value from other successful companies in this broader creator economy space. This just shows that they're de-risking solving for that specific monetizable gap by introducing functionality that's going to attract a wide range of people. Interestingly, when we started using Beehiiv, it wasn't to create an ad-supported newsletter. It was to introduce customization that Substack and other providers weren't offering. So these additional features are able to capture the attention of different users beyond solving for that core market gap on ad-supported business models. And last but not least, the fourth thing I want to talk about is how they address competition. It's clear at that time, the elephant in the room was Substack. Substack was growing. Everyone that was writing their newsletters were writing it on Substack. The interesting thing with the elephant in the room is that when there's a singular market leader, they can be vulnerable. And here on this vulnerable market leader slide, they use social proof from big names on Twitter, highlighting the shortcomings that people are finding with that market leader. And not only do they address those shortcomings with social proof, but they have this business model slide that is almost the dagger, the king slayer. Not only are they highlighting features that people are missing out on Substack, but they're creating a business model that radically transforms how people are paying for their newsletters as a way to capture a lot of users from Substack. They were able to take the biggest and best users and their massive audiences over to their platform and begin this transition to Beehiiv from Substack. Those are the four key pillars for why I think the Beehiiv pitch worked for its time. They leaned on market tailwinds and highlighted growth in the newsletter space. They identified a clear market gap in what the current solutions were providing and what users wanted. They solve for that gap by not just closing it with an initial value prop of, the ad-supported business models, but showing that they're creating more than just an ad-supported newsletter platform. They're bringing in value from all these different players to create something for everyone. And then they close things out by highlighting why the market leader of today, the competition that they're up against, is vulnerable, and they can create a business model to attack them. This is an awesome example, not only because of the unique storytelling tactics that even surprised us, having looked at many decks, but we know for a fact that it worked in retrospect. So we're going to link the deck below. So let us know what other insights you've gleaned from the success of the Beehiiv seed deck.